Lovely. There wasn't one last week. There usually would have been, because I usually do these every 2 weeks, but I didn't have any fan mail, so, and I was getting ready for Afterworld, so I didn't really have time. So I'm doing it this week, which I'd missed one previously, so now I'm back on what was the original schedule, I think? I don't know, man. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I'm wearing Captain Squid on my head. This was sent to me long ago from the, I believe, the Talesians in my birthday package. The one where I was opening it like an advent calendar and then got distracted and forgot about it and never got back to it. And I finally found it while cleaning the shop. And I opened it all and I found this, and it's the coolest thing ever! And I'm sad that it was not opened on camera properly. But I'm wearing it now, so hopefully that will make up for it. Anyway, time for some questions. Big Picture 3. Would you be interested in the X-Shot Pro line? Absolutely. I'm thoroughly interested in what X-Shot is going to do. Their first foray, the long shot, is kind of amazing. It's $30, and for another less than $30, you can get the thing up to 220 FPS. Plunger tube fragility is an issue, as well as plastic durability, but we will, we're modders. We will find ways to deal with that quickly, I have no doubt. Brandon Keller. Would it be feasible to use brass inserts in a production blaster? Nerf X-Shot Dart Zone Worker. In some places, maybe, but in most, no. Because the insert has to be inserted into something. And with 3D printed blasters, it's inserted into the filament. And because blasters are designed to have the inserts, they're designed to have somewhere where you can actually insert it. Whereas production blasters are designed to use screw posts and screws. And there really isn't a way to put a brass insert into a screw post, usually. They're generally not going to be anywhere near thick enough for you to be able to do that. You would also then need to replace all of the screws with screws or bolts that actually fit into said brass inserts. So it really wouldn't be feasible in most cases. There may be some where you'd be able to, and there may be some kind of an insert that can fit over, like rather than an insert, more of a cap that fits over a screw post, potentially. I don't know what all exists, but usual brass ones, I don't think there are any that are small enough, and if they were, I don't know that you'd be able to find a screw that would fit and would still hold the shell together. So for production ones, no, we're kind of stuck with using screws, but for 3D printed ones, they make all the difference. 40th. Are you excited / interested in the new LEGO Icons Eldorado Fortress Pirate set? It is currently sitting in box on my LEGO bench up in my LEGO room, and I am desperately trying to find the time to actually build the wretched thing. I managed to build the original Eldorado Fortress today while on the Old Grey Bricks stream, and so I can do the comparison of the two, and I'm really looking forward. I'm hoping I can find the time tomorrow. Well, no, I probably won't. I might find it today. Maybe. But probably not. It probably will be Sunday. Would be my guess. Mo Kitsune. Are there any upcoming video games or tabletop RPGs that you're excited for? No. No, I haven't really looked into video games in a long time because the vast majority of video games that seem to come out nowadays are first-person shooters, and those make me motion sick. So I still favor the old top-down style games, Age of Empires, things like that, Civ, those kinds of games. And Elite Dangerous. I still play Elite Dangerous when I can find the time. And tabletop, no, not really. Ben Mayo. Have you ever thought of connecting a proton pack to the proton gun from the real Ghostbusters toy line? yes. I have wanted to do a Ghostbusters proton pack, using their gizmo. I don't remember what it's called. And originally my plan was to use the one from the, 84, I think is when it came out, and it fired a marshmallow-looking round, but I have acquired a nicer looking one fairly recently with the intent of using that. I don't know how well I will actually be able to fit something into it, whereas the old one from the 80s, it would be really easy to just cram a Jupiter in there and call it a day. And I may do that, or I may try both. I mean, I've got the resources to do both. But yeah, I mean, that is where the name came from. The Proton Pack was inspired by the one from Ghostbusters, so it would be very, very fitting. And I know at least one person out there has done it, I'm pretty sure. Patrick Crocker. Thoughts on the 3D printed solid Proton Pack? It's neat. I've seen a few in action. I've never gotten a really close look at one, and obviously I don't have one. Obviously it was designed a little bit differently than out of Darts's, but can still be used, can still be wired similar. It's more similar to the way my old ones are, as opposed to the way the new Proton Pack ones, the out of Darts Proton Pack is. But it should be easy enough to wire it up to work with any of the blasters I use. I just don't have one. Draco11. When you are running your events, do you provide the darts used, or do you encourage people to bring their own? If you do provide darts, what is your process for picking out what kind to use? So it's a little bit of both. I do provide ammo. We provide ammo at our local Public Wars at Fort Borst, and then I provide ammo here at my arena. And people are still encouraged to bring darts, but with the expectations that they're not going to get them back, because that's how we maintain our dart pool, because darts get damaged and darts get worn out. And so if people occasionally bring a couple of darts and just kind of donate them, that's kind of how we build up our stock and then continue to maintain it. Because we don't charge for our events. I don't charge for the events here, and we don't charge for Borst, and so all of that is volunteer and donations. And so whatever people bring, some we will in fact weed out because they don't work in most things. If somebody brings a bunch of suction cup darts, like old Busby suction cups, they're probably gonna get sorted out. And some people do custom cut down half darts, and those tend to not work in everything, and so we will remove them. As for what you should use for full-length darts, I recommend Adventure Force waffles. They're $10 for 200 at Walmart. You're not going to get a better price than that, and they work in just about anything that is specifically designed for full-length darts. Flywheelers and old, muzzle-loaded springers and stuff like that. For half darts, if you really want to get, the best, it's going to be the Gen 3 the Worker Gen 3 Plus, the red and orange tip ones. If not that, again, the Adventure Force half darts that you can get at Walmart or Target work pretty good in just about everything. They won't work the best in everything, but for public use and for, lower FPS, they will typically work fairly well. And then, if you want, you can have a smattering of Rival and Mega XL and whatever else you allow or use. Those, it's more likely that people are going to bring their own and are going to recover it afterwards because they don't get used as much. Alex Price. I'm working on a Pikeman Huskarl armor build based loosely on Dark Souls and Bloodborne, and I'm thinking on an axe for the primary, but I can't decide on Dane axe, a pole axe, or a fantasy axe similar to the Chinese Omni axe. Well, given that you have said that you're making a polearm, though I guess polearm Huskarl, I can see why you'd have either a Dane axe or a pikeman, but personally I would go with a pole axe, and given the aesthetic of both Dark Souls and Bloodborne, I would lean towards something like a Swiss pikeman's halberd. They were lighter, svelter, very mean-looking, very angular. They're pretty nifty. I like the Swiss polearm design. And I favor pole axes in general, so that's what I would go with. Gustav de Haas. What are your thoughts on the new lever action X-Shot blaster? I've seen it. It looks nifty. I haven't actually held it or seen it in action or used it, and so my thoughts are very limited. If I ever get my hands on one, I will let you know what I think of it. Not Shiba. Can I ask you what you used to paint your black blasters? Black vinyl dye. That is my favorite, and that's still what I use for the base coat on almost all of my blasters, because it acts as a really good primer on plastic. So it's a lot more expensive, but I find it to be worth it. Thomas Robichaud. What Springer would you recommend I modify as my first mod? I would start with something really simple. Go to a thrift shop, Goodwill, whatever, and get, or if you don't already have one, a single shot springer, and open it up and take a look at it, and you know, get an upgrade spring for it, maybe brass the barrel. Start with the simple things, and then build up quickly. You know, go into a revolver or a smart AR blaster, and then start looking into getting kits. Like if you can get your hands on a long shot, there are some really cool kits for long shots that are probably still out there. More and more, where you know, the high-end stuff is either going to be 3D printed or are going to be full blasters. One that would actually be, it came up earlier, the X-Shot long shot, rather than the Nerf long shot. Because again, it's $30, so if you end up breaking it, you're not going to be out that much. And there should be, I think there are already, clear plastic plunger tube replacements to replace the stock ones that tend to crack. And there should be anodized aluminum ones coming out very soon. And then all you need is a Silver Fox Pro 26 for their Talon Claw Pro 26 and a longer barrel, and you're good to go. And that's another good one to learn the basics of, you know, what barrel lengths are good, what scar barrels you like, spring upgrades, all that kind of stuff. But again, I would still start with a single shot and just learn it. It's going to take you an afternoon to learn everything you need to learn about modding a single shot. Then maybe try a revolver, a hammer shot. There are still good kits for hammer shots out there. And then an X-Shot long shot wouldn't be a bad place. User FY9UG8RR7W. What are there any methods of half dartifying full length you recommend? And are there any ways that you know of to get dart zone blasters outside of the US? So half dartifying full length, make a jig. There actually are jigs that you can get. Worker makes a 3D printed jig that has, the one I got sent had 2 different lengths. So it had 2 different slots for you to run a razor blade down. You put the darts in, and then you had 2 different spots depending on what length you wanted, depending on what blasters you were going to use it in. And it would make it very clean and exactly the same length and a very straight cut every time. But it would be very simple to make your own jig using wood. And depending on what tools you have, designing it so that you know, every time you put a dart in, they're always the exact same length, and then you can cut them with a razor blade just by having a slot that you can slide it through. But definitely make a jig. It's the best way. That way it's consistent, the same every single time. And are there any ways that I know of to get dart zone blasters outside of the US? Yes, you're gonna need yourself a smuggler. You're gonna need someone in the US that'll sell them to you. That'll buy them and ship them. I'm not that person, but there may be some people out there that are willing to for, you know, maybe a small finder's fee. Reginald Gemini. 1. How would you make a foam cavalry saber? Same way I would make any other kind of foam weapon. Though I assume you're wanting a curved saber, so you're going to need to find a way to curve whatever you're using for your core. If you're using a heavy PVC, that's fairly easy to heat up and curve. If you're wanting to do something like fiberglass, that's going to be a lot more difficult. I don't know how I would even start to try to curve fiberglass. But with, you know, thick-walled PVC, it's just a matter of heating it up with a heat gun, or you can even heat it up in an oven at a low enough temperature and then curve it to whatever you want. And then cover it with the foam and whatever the requirements are for whatever system you're planning to use this in. It might just be foam and some duct tape. It might just be foam. It might be, you know, foam and cloth and layers and glued and all that. I would look into how people construct things for like Amtgard or Belagarth. There's probably someone out there that has a saber guide on the internet. 2. How would you make a foam halberd? Same thing. The biggest issue with a halberd is that you want to have as much padding on the haft as possible, because otherwise, if you hit somebody with the haft and it's not padded, it's gonna hurt. So, you know, depending, again, it's gonna depend on the head that you want. You make it out of couple layers of EVA foam or craft foam or whatever. Multiple layers make it stronger. You glue them all together. You put some kind of an edge on it. You cover it in something, whether it's tool dip or plasti dip or cloth or whatever, to make it look nice. And yeah, make sure there's plenty of foam on most of the handle that might potentially hit somebody. Obviously, where your hands are going to go, you're not going to want foam, but yeah, that's how I would go about it. 3. How do you make a magpie a Webley style top break? Oh no, we are being swamp catted. Hello, swamp cat. I am filming. Hello. She says hello. Well, the files are available on Thingiverse, so you would need to alter the files. It's designed to be, you know, the drop cylinder. But if you want it to break action, then you're going to need to alter the files so that it can break. The issue, of course, is that, I mean, like if you look at the old Viper, it did do that. So it's definitely possible. Even though your flywheels are going to be in the front section, you just have to make sure that there's a channel that's right at the hinge so the wire just bends nicely. But yeah, you're just going to have to alter the files or find someone to alter the files, or maybe someone already has and they're already on Thingiverse. I just don't know. But yeah, you're just going to need to make alter the files so that it is. Alternatively, you could hack one up and screw a hinge in and put some kind of a catch on the top, but it's gonna be janky. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I got plenty of janky stuff around here. And 4, would you be interested in a half-dart only Mark III derivative in a Tommy gun format? Oh yeah, I'd love a half-dart Tommy gun. That would be really cool. Kind of surprised no one's done that. Or someone probably has, and I just haven't seen it. I got my full-length Tommy gun, but a half-dart one would be much better. Very cool. And finally, NBL_USMC. Where do you keep your Louisiana Blaster League patch? I have a Louisiana Blaster tag patch? By any chance, did you give it to Dr. Pews to bring back to me? He visited you guys. I think he visited you guys. I probably have it around here somewhere. I don't think it's on my wall. I don't recall seeing a Louisiana one here. What does it look like? Hum a few bars for me. No. Wait. No. No. When did I get that one? No idea. Could be anywhere. Is it in the pile? Got a pile of patches over here. Now that I've got more room on my wall, I should get these added. Blaster time, Lorine, Captain Pants! How do I not have Captain Pants up here? Captain Pants needs to be added. Captain Pants! Shadow Archery. That one's naughty. Fire Team, no. Do I not have, how do I not have Lorine up here already? And Lorine, hey, stop it. Making a mess. What? Behavior stuff. Detroit Foam Fished. Oh, that's a good one. I need to add that to my gear. I don't know. I'm sure it's around here somewhere. Maybe it might actually be on a vest somewhere, honestly. If people give me them when I'm in the field, I usually just put them on whatever vest I'm wearing and then forget that it's there. Oh. There is a puma here. Come to grips with this. All right. Oh. Hit the little screen. All right. I have a package and a letter, which we will get to after these potential messages. Gotta get money somehow. All right, let's grab some stuff. What? You are the silliest of pumas. You are. All right, I've got a letter here. We're gonna read it. A tiny note. Auxiliary. Your pal up north. Caleb. Oop, what else is in there? Love the vids! He sent me sticky notes with encouragement. That is awesome. I appreciate it. Are you being silly? Are you, madam? She's being silly. Yes, you are. You are a silly puma. Dance, dance, dance with me. Alright, and now I have to get to the package, madam, which is going where you are. So, yep, flee, madam. She has fled. what do we got? What do we got? We got stuff. I don't know what's going on here. I've completely forgotten what this is about. There's the remains of a blaster. It appears to be an inbox blaster. Is there a note in here? There's a notebook in here. Hello, Captain. Thank you for modding blasters to keep your fans happy. I just wanted to say there aren't very many YouTubers I watch that I can sit down and enjoy. Every day I watch a few of your old videos and it makes me happy. In the box, I have added a few goodies for you to use in the video. I hope you enjoy modding the Pathfinder with the worker kit I have provided. Enjoy! P.S. I do have a channel. It's Willy. Willy. Link Dark Wolf Forza. I'll have a link in the description, hopefully. I also included my spam card. I hope I can see you sometime in Indiana at a war. Never been to Indiana. I think there's a Jared's Epic Nerf battle there now. Maybe I'll actually go to those ones someday. By the way, my stepdad's cousin is the founder of Lapse Oil. Neat. Anyway, I've been watching your channel for a while now, and I cannot wait to see more videos. Keep up the good work. Been subbed since 40,000. Neat. If you want to friend me on Discord, my Discord is this. Feel free to use this as a list for things. I do need to remember to make lists of things. Anyway, we've got stuff. Aha! The spam card. You'd think I'd have business cards by now. I've been doing this long enough. I need more merch. And business cards. What's this? What's going on in here? We have a box. What? There are questions for which there are likely to be no answer. We have the tragic remains of a blaster here. It's not even all in here. Where's the rest of it? There's that. Worker kit out of darts, screws. Cool. Okay, well, I'll be doing a video modding the Pathfinder with a worker kit for y'all. Stay tuned. Thank you for watching.